So Governor Cuomo goes from winning an Emmy to them talking about being impeached? What happened? So Governor Andrew Cuomo of New York is in some very, very, very hot water. So let me explain what's going on. The Cuomo administration had an order that required nursing homes to take back COVID-positive patients. Now, here are some facts. First, 98% of nursing homes in New York already had COVID-positive patients in them before the governor's order. Second, 12 states also had similar requirements, and Trump's CDC also approved the measure. Now, if we go back to the beginning of the pandemic, the issues were that the hospitals were being overrun with patients. So sending patients that didn't need to be in the hospital back to nursing homes freed up hospital beds for those who were critically ill. You can't keep these elderly patients in hospitals. So where do you send them? They sent them back to nursing homes. Now, if you think about it at the time, these facilities are supposed to be quasi-hospitals. They're supposed to, be prepared with PPEs, be able to isolate patients and those type of things. So you are sending them to a medical care facility, even though they do have this virus. Where else could they go? That was their home. They couldn't stay in the hospital. But as we all know, generally it's not about what happened, but the cover-up. And that's what's getting Cuomo into problems. So when authorities, for instance, the DOJ and the state legislature, started asking about how many people died in nursing homes, this is how Cuomo started changing the narrative. See, the Cuomo administration made a distinction. If someone died in a nursing home from COVID, they counted it as a nursing home death. But if someone died in a hospital, they counted it as a death in the hospital, even if that person came from a nursing home. Now, this distinction essentially hid how many residents of nursing homes died from COVID-19. But what was the reason for this distinction? What was the reason for this deception? Well, Cuomo's top aide, Melissa DeRosa, admitted that they hid the data in this way so the feds wouldn't find out, because Cuomo and the Cuomo administration had a fear that Trump would use this as a political weapon to knock him off the pedestal of being the greatest governor dealing with COVID at the time. So recently, Governor Cuomo had a press conference that essentially tried to pull the wool over everyone's eyes. First, he claimed that the DOJ and the New York legislature asked for the numbers at the same time, and then Cuomo claimed that they could only handle one request for information at a time. And then Cuomo also claimed that if the legislator would have subpoenaed the information, they would have gotten it faster. But because they didn't, they prioritized the DOJ's request over the legislature's request. But this makes little sense because both parties were asking for the same numbers, right? The DOJ is asking for these numbers and the state legislature. So it's not like you have to get people to do it twice. You just do it once and then publish the numbers to each one of the authorities asking for it. And no one's buying an excuse that the State Department of Health, with its thousands of employees, couldn't handle two simple requests for data that you already had. They were already tracking COVID deaths. So Cuomo then went into the Cuomo playbook. Cuomo is now threatening to destroy anyone who's challenging his handling of the pandemic. Remember, he got a book deal, he got an Emmy. Here's Cuomo threatening Democrat Ron Kemp over nursing home scandals. You will be destroyed. He's saying that to a Democrat. Bill de Blasio's even been threatened by Cuomo. Now, I would say this. What if this was Trump doing all this? What would the left say? Cuomo has been caught, and there are calls for his impeachment and resignation for the deception that he purposefully made. Now, on the right, people will say, well, he should be impeached. But then on the left, they say, well, if he should be impeached, then Trump should have been impeached too. Now, I'll say this. This scandal, I think, is not really about deaths in nursing homes. It's about covering up, right? It's about not being transparent. It's about telling people one thing when the truth was something else. And Cuomo should be ashamed of himself because people trusted him. They gave him these emergency powers, and he did this intentionally to try to save face. Think about this. If he would have given the numbers out correctly at the beginning when everyone was asking for them, then we wouldn't be talking about it today, right? People would understand why they did what they did. People would understand why the numbers were what they were. Comment below in the comment section. Let me know how you feel. Do you think Cuomo should be impeached? My name is Nate the Lawyer. I'm out.